Another piece of advice I would give myself that I was like really worried about when I first started was to turn off my viewer count when I'm like in my dashboard. Because for the longest, like I was, we were all trying to figure it out. Like I didn't
Yes.
know how it was going to go. So like when there was more people in the room, should I like, try to, play, a more of like, like reading a room.
Hmm.
And I think one thing that you really should do is just don't worry about your viewers and just pay attention to the people that are paying attention to you. Like pay attention to the people that are in the chat because they're the ones that are like listening and that they're into what you're doing. So yeah, I mean, like everybody else, we were we came from a place where it was really about like how many people were there. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like that's the measure of, whatever's going on. That's the metric that bars measure. Like how many people are here? Are we making enough money? Blah, blah, blah. So to come from that, I think it was humbling for a lot of DJs at first to, start streaming and, there'd be 4 people in there when you're used to playing for, hundreds or thousands or whatever, wherever your DJ career is at.
Hmm.
So I would think that one of the main things would be I wish I would have paid attention more to the some of the people that, I mean, they're probably still around, but I should have tried to foster more relationships and like with your people that are always in there.
Yeah.
um, because that's really what it's all about. Like here on Twitch, like it's a community. It's super community driven. Um, so I would say definitely to yeah, turn off your viewer count was a big thing for me because I found that once I did, and that was just something else, one less thing for me to care about because there's this is a new type of DJing. It's not just like, oh, I got to play good music and people will like it. There's other levels, there's other things going on. So that also just like cut something off your plate. And it really doesn't matter. And even now, like when I've gotten like raids where I know there's a ton of people in there now, I still don't turn it on because I know that as soon as you do that, then your mind goes to that place rather than like where are we at right now, like what's happening in the chat, what jokes are being thrown around, what can be played off of. Like it's way more about that experience of it than the whole overall, who's all in here and how many people do I have? Because I know that was, I mean, it's still a struggle for, a lot of DJs, I'm sure. But if you can just kind of get out of that mindset, you'll do better faster. Because I felt I mean, I noticed that like when I did that, I started to enjoy it more. My sets were better, and I was like, yeah, you know what, this is just us being regular and you guys hanging out listening to me DJing. And that was a different thing from when you're working at a bar and you're doing like your own party or whatnot. That's like what Twitch really is. Like Twitch is like throwing your own themed night whenever you want, wherever you want. So like whatever you can do to keep that fire going.